evening. Good evening. My name's Maureen Butler, and this is Rosalind Court. Welcome back to Rosalind Court. This evening we've got Edwina Hayes. We've also got a full room of unruly people. Yeah. So it's a busy week this week. We've got to say goodbye to Gordon Lightfoot, another Canadian great lost to music. It's a shame. I just remember listening to him in the car on my transistor radio with the aerial extended because the reception was always pretty dodgy. But fortunately, there was nothing like seatbelts then, so you could move around your sisters and get the best reception. So it's health and safety was very different then, wasn't it? Indeed, yeah. And I don't know whether you've noticed, but I've had my hair cut. Yeah. I think I look like Wendeline from Wallace and Gromit.
No one's arguing.
No. Oh, there you go. So, this evening, we've got the normal raffle. Everybody in here, you're in for the raffle. Everyone at home, if you donate, please donate. You will be put in the raffle. And if you contribute to the live chat, you will also be put in the raffle. And what will you win? Well, it's very exciting this evening because not only do we have a CD from Edwina Hayes, but also CJ has put her CD in as well. So that's good. So there's two CDs. And then, of course, obviously, the Who Gives a Crap emergency toilet roll, which is behind me. Yeah, that's see. Now, first of all, we're going to have some tunes from Mike Stockwell. So please welcome him onto the stage. Ray!
So I'm just being ordered around. Basically, with it being May the 4th, Star Wars Day, I thought I'd go sort of a little bit techie with some tunes, more with what I'm playing it on. It's a set of English tunes, like answers on a postcard, if you can guess them all. And it goes something like this. Thank you.
That was great, wasn't it? Thanks, Mike. Mike Stockwell, everybody. Okay, so we'll get another. Actually, we're going to get a song from him in the second half. But now we're going to have a song from CJ. Yay! We're so lucky.
Dear. I've upset the boss already. Good evening, everyone. Now for something completely different. Can I say I've supported Edwina Hayes now? Yeah. I can retire now. I'm just going to play a tune and not talk too much because I normally talk too much. Unless I talk and there's a chance of swearing because we're live. Please join in if you know it. Even if you don't. In the sound check I realise I have 3 chins. I'm not happy about this. So when I look stage left and I lose all my colour, it's because I spotted my 3 chins. My heart is light, my heart is so low. As only a woman's heart can be. As only a woman, thank you. As only a woman's heart can know. The tears that drip from my bewildered eyes, they taste a bittersweet romance. Still my hope, you're still on my mind, yeah. But even though I manage on my own, my heart is low. Yes, my heart is so low. 'Cause only a woman's heart can be. 'Cause only a woman, only a woman, it's only a woman's heart can know. And then we have a fiddle solo here. When restless eyes reveal my troubled soul, and memories flood my weary heart, I'm on for my dreams, oh, I'm on for my wasted love. But even though I know I survive alone, my heart is low. Yes, my heart is so low. 'Cause only a woman's heart can be. 'Cause only a woman, towards her. And at home, my heart is low. Yes, my heart is so low, as only a woman's heart can be. As only a woman's lovely. Only a woman's, as only a woman's heart can know. Woman's Heart, thank you so much.
Thank you, CJ. We'll have another song from CJ in the second half. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Oh, if I'd known that was dedicated to you. Right.
Mutual Appreciation Society.
Stage now.
Yeah, go and get your guitar. Yeah, right. Now, Edwina Hayes. She's toured with people like Jules Holland, Van Morrison, Nancy Griffith, Loudon Wainwright III, just to name a few. Some of her fans are Michael Parkinson and Mike Harding. I like Mike Harding because he's the same height as me. The title track of her album, Pour Me a Drink, was covered by Nancy Griffiths, who calls her the sweetest voice in England. Her cover of the Randy Newman, I have issues with Randy Newman, but I'll talk about that another time. Her cover of Randy Newman's song, Feels Like Home, was featured in the Cameron Diaz film, My Sister's Keeper, yeah? And has since had 10 million plays on Spotify. Ooh. And over 30 million plays on YouTube. So, all of this experience has been in preparation for this evening tonight at Rosalind Court. You lucky woman. Edwina Hayes, everybody.
Thank you. A very good evening, everybody. What a lovely time I'm having. And I have to say, I've been having a lovely time since I arrived at 4:30, before anything even started. A really lovely room full of lovely people. It's my first time playing in Margate as well. I've had a lovely warm welcome. And those two openers by Mike and CJ were just lovely. Big hello to everybody at home. I don't know quite where to look at everybody at home. There's one there. I'd be terrible on telly, me. I'd be like, is it that camera? Is that camera? And then the show would be finished. But lovely to be here. I will start with, I wasn't really sure what to start with, but after that lovely introduction, I'm going to start with a Nancy Griffith number that is actually a John Prine song that I learned from a Nancy Griffith cassette many years ago. And it's called Speed of the Sound of Loneliness, and it's really good for joining in. So very good evening, everybody. If you're tuning in, wherever you are, hope you're having a lovely night. Hope you're having as much fun as we are. Yeah. I've also got 3 chins as well. A really wrinkly neck, which I didn't realise I had. You come home late and you come home early. You come home big when you're feeling small. You come home straight and you come home curly. Sometimes you don't come home at all. And I've got a heart that burns with a fever. Oh, and I got a worried and a jealous mind. 'Cause how can a love that'll last forever get left so far behind? So what in the world's come over you? Yeah, what in heaven's name have you done? just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run. Oh, lovely singing. Thank you so much. Very nice singing, everybody. Well, I'm going to move on and do a song that I wrote with a lovely guy, Boo Hewardine, and only because we were talking about him a little earlier. Wonderfully funny and dry guy and a wonderful songwriter. And Morag and I were just sat chatting earlier, and she was saying how she likes the song Patience of Angels. And, of course, he wrote that, and he's just really lovely. And he was the first person that ever asked me if I'd like to do some songwriting together. And I'd only just started songwriting, and I just said, a bit like that Catherine Tate character, I went, yeah, okay, I can do that. And I didn't really know what he meant. And I thought, well, it'll never happen. I mean, I don't know him. Anyway, he followed me up, and it did happen. And I was terrified. And this afternoon came of songwriting, and we sat down with some cups of tea, came round to my house. And I was really nervous about it. I did a very northern thing in a time of crisis. I made a load of sandwiches. It's kind of global, really, the sandwich making in a time of crisis. It's not really northern. Anyway, I thought I could waylay him with a couple of cheese sandwiches. And eventually there came the moment when he said, right, shall we get our guitars and try something? I thought, oh, God. Anyway, he said, play me a couple of bits of song ideas you've got that you've not finished. I thought, well, I've got a few of them. And then he said, I'll play a couple of mine. And the next thing, it was an hour or two later, and we'd written a song, and it was just so lovely. It was a wonderful introduction to co-writing with people. That's the posh way of saying writing a song with someone, co-writing. And not long after that, I went to America for the first time, went to Nashville, and ended up co-writing all over the place, because everybody likes to write songs in Nashville. But this is one of my favourite songs I wrote with Boo, and it's also one of my least depressing numbers. So most of the songs I write are very miserable. I like a sad song by anybody, really. If there's a really sad song on any album, it's my favourite. So anyway, this one's actually, it's positively Guns N' Roses for me, this. It's quite lively. It's called Bend in the Road. And it goes like this. When your feet are tired and your heart is heavy and you just don't know where to go. Well, this is not the end, it's only a bend in the road. When you've been walking for days and you can't find your way, there's something that you ought to know. Oh, this is not the end, only a bend in the road. Lovely. Bend in the road, bend in the road. You're gonna turn that corner, you're gonna lose that load, 'cause it's only a bend in the road. And when the highway's cracked and you've been breaking your back and you got nothing at all left to hold. Oh, this is not the end, it's only a bend in the road. Bend in the road, bend in the road. Oh, just like that river has to flow, has to flow. Keep going around that bend in the road. So when your feet are tired and your heart is heavy and you just don't know where to go, I tell you, my friend, it's only a bend in the road. Oh, this is not the end, only a bend in the road. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you. Well, before before I even arrived here today, I had a request, and the request was from lovely Bill down here, Bill Beer. And Bill and I have known each other for a few years, and I haven't seen him since before lockdown, which is really nice to see him again. And it's funny how it's such a small world when it comes to music, especially folk and acoustic music around the country. It turns out Bill and CJ know one another and have done for many years. And I met CJ a few years ago. It really is lovely. On one of my late night drives home a few years ago, when Bob Harris was still on a Saturday night, I used to like tuning into Bob. He was interviewing somebody, and I heard him say to the guest, I can't remember who the guest was, music is such a wonderful passport to travel through life with. And I just always remembered that. I thought, yeah, he's really right. It's amazing. It really is. So this is a request for Bill, and it was for a song of mine. I'd put a little clip up. It's actually a song. I recorded a little clip to advertise the gig tonight. Last week at my gig in Driffield, where I live. I live in East Yorkshire in Driffield. I'm actually from Lancashire originally, but my mum moved over to the East Coast of Yorkshire a good 30 years ago now, and we're all based over there. And so when I'm doing gigs in Yorkshire, I always just play down my Lancashire roots. And like, I'll be going to Lancashire next Friday to play in Col. I'll be saying, I'm from Preston. Just don't mention the Yorkshire bit, you know. Anyway, so I actually just did a clip of this song, and Bill said, oh, can you do it for me, the whole thing? So this is a song I wrote for my auntie. And I wrote it a few years ago. There's a really long gap in between my last album and the one I just made. 10 years, actually. I just used to say, I've been busy. And people used to say, when are you going to make a new CD? I will. I promise, I will. Anyway, eventually I did. Didn't even do it during lockdown when we had all that time. I did it after lockdown when we were busy again. Anyway, I knew I was going to put this song on the album. And I meant to give it a grown-up name, because I've just been calling it Auntie Brenda's Song since I wrote it. And my friend Dave Ward McLean in York, a lovely musician friend of mine, he said, what you want to call it, Edwina? Also, big fan of Gordon Lightfoot, Dave, and he does a very good version of If You Could Read My Mind, that one. Anyway, Dave said, call it Brenda's Song, in brackets, Love Will Lead the Way. So that's what you want to call it. And anyway, I made the CD, and I just called it Auntie Brenda's Song. So there you are. So it starts with a chorus. Now, you won't know it, but it's really, really easy to pick up. And it goes like this. So, your smile will keep on shining. Your light will never fade. 'Cause you're a lady, such a lady, lovely, and love will lead the way. It's a chorus. We've been through some troubled years. We've cried, oh, a lot of tears. But we've stood strong together through it all. Here to catch one another if one of us should fall. And your smile will keep on shining. Your light will never fade. 'Cause you're a lady, such a lady. Ooh. And love will lead the way. We could use some better times, some good news to ease our minds. But we'll stand up and face whatever comes along, holding on to each other's hands till the better weather comes. Your smile will keep on shining. Your light will never fade. 'Cause you're a lady, such a lady, and love will lead the way. And it's alright to be afraid of all the things that we can't change. 'Cause all the memories times that we've had. There are testaments to every one of us and everything we have. Your smile will keep on shining. Your light will never fade. 'Cause you're a lady, such a lady. And love will lead the way. Oh, love will lead the way. Very nice singing, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. Aw. Thank you. That's so lovely. Well, I'm going to do a song of mine now that I know CJ likes. And what I'm going to do also in the second half tonight, so apologies to everybody tuning in at home, because obviously that'll be the second half after we've logged off. But during the interval, if anybody here tonight has a request for anything, I will be taking requests and I will try them with pleasure, even if it's not for one of my songs. If I know it, I'll give it a go, just to let you know. So if anybody's thinking, oh, I wouldn't mind hearing such a song. But this is a song called What Happens Now. And I haven't done this one for a little while. And this is a song I was saying about doing co-writing. This is a song I wrote with a lady in Nashville years ago, a really lovely lady called Lorna Flowers. And we kept meaning to try and write this song, and we never really got round to it. We'd get together and we'd just end up chatting and drinking tea and eating a lot of biscuits. And when I moved back from Nashville, I lived there for a couple of years. I was very lucky. And about 20 years ago now, I was there. I came home, and one day I just got an idea and finished it all off and sent it to her, and she was really thrilled with it. And it's called What Happens Now. So I haven't done this one for a while, but this is for lovely CJ. Never noticed the change from a spark to a flame. It happened so slow, and now I don't know what to say. Was it a trick of the light that made your eyes shine and melted my soul and started the fall? And what happens now? Should I make a move? 'Cause something feels right, but there's so much to lose. And I wanna be free of this heart on my sleeve that I'm dragging around. So what happens now? Well, I don't have the words, and I can't find the nerve to cross the line. So I'm playing for time, but the game's almost done, and there's nowhere to run. So I could put out my hand or leave while I can. But what happens now? Should I make a move? 'Cause something feels right, but there's so much to lose. And I wanna be free of this heart on my sleeve that I'm dragging around. happens now. Oh, thank you. Some lovely harmonies there from CJ.
I'm just going to interrupt for a minute to speak to the people at home, please. I don't know whether you could hear CJ harmonising with that, but it was absolutely gorgeous in the rooms. The magic of Roslyn Court. Thank you. That was just lovely. Now, I'm fully... we are a very small, independent, unfunded venue here. And we kind of rely on people who are watching, if they're in the position to give us a bit of a donation using the thing running along the bottom of the screen there. And if you possibly could, I'm fully expecting us to have 30 million hits on YouTube tonight. So if each one of you could give us 5 of whatever currency you have, you know, we would be really, really happy, and we'd still come back next week. We would. I've got my fingers crossed. So please, if you can, could you donate to us? And we're very pleased to be able to bring this to you. And hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. And now I'm going to go away and let Edwina get on with it. Thank you very much. Oh, where do people buy your CDs?
Oh, on my website, edwinahayes.com, or my Facebook page. There's links on both. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Or down here. On this
or down here.
If you're in the room.
Yes.
Thank you.
Or you might win one with the toilet roll. Yes. I'm going to move on and do one. It feels quite appropriate in here, called Leave a Light On For You. It is a very lovelily lit room. Lovelily. They could have just made a word up there. It's just so lovely. For those of you at home, the audience are here, and there's all the lovely team all dotted around. Lovely Chris on the camera there, who promised faithfully he wouldn't zoom in too close. Yay. I was thinking if you set up at that house over there, that would be just about the right angle. I know. So this is called, anyway, Leave a Light On For You. This is a song about old flames, if you will. Everybody okay? Yeah. You could have had me for a song, 'cause my love was so strong. And though the years have come and gone, I'll leave a light on for you. And I remember the day you went away, and I missed my chance to say that I'd leave a light on for you. And how I wish that I'd known how quickly life moves on, and how I wish I'd been brave enough to try and make you stay. It was so long ago, but I still love you so. And I thought that you should know that I leave a light on for you. We were too young and free to think things would ever change. And now it's easy to see how different it all might have been. You could have had me for cover now. I've always enjoyed doing cover songs. It's how I started off singing and playing. I always like to tell people the first song I ever learnt on the guitar was Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow when I was 18, but I'm fibbing because it was actually when I was 14 and I learned Manic Monday by the Bangles and at school. And then I didn't play after school. I went to a Catholic school in Lancashire and I had a couple of guitar lessons and used to play at assemblies. And then I didn't pick the guitar up again until I went to university. And there were some exchange students from New York State, 2 or 3 doors down in the halls of residence. And this lovely girl, Kathleen, was always playing this guitar, which she'd borrowed from the music department. I went to college in Chester. And she taught me loads of songs, and I was always wandering in her room because she had all this amazing music on, and she would play things like Janis Ian and Carole King, Joni Mitchell, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and I'd never heard any of that music, and I loved it. And these girls left at the Christmas. They were just there for the first term. And she went with me to the music department and asked if I could have the guitar for the rest of the year. And I literally just didn't go to any lectures after that and just played songs. And I worked out how to play Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow with the chords from school and my thumbnail, no capo or anything. And I always, I'm really grateful to those girls, and that's kind of a little bit how I started off. And so I started in the 90s then going to folk clubs, and my very first performance in front of anybody that wasn't a family member or a long-suffering friend was at the Bridlington Folk Club in 1994, and I went to the singers' night and stood up and sang 2 songs where I was stood. And I remember my heart beating really fast and loud in my ears and being so nervous and talking loads. And then when I sat down, I thought, oh, I wish I could start again now. So I kept going back, and that's kind of how it all started. And so, it'll be 30 years next year since that happened, and I'm so grateful. And so somewhere along the way, I would say around about 1999, I started having a go at writing my own songs, and they've kind of built up as well. And so I always like to do a nice mix of both, and I still really enjoy learning a new song. And I normally learn a new song when I've heard it somewhere and it's really I've just been really taken with it. And so this song, I heard my friend Phil Simpson sing it at a Christmas party a few years ago in a village called North Dalton at the Star Pub. And he sang this song, and I thought it was one of his, and I went over and I went, Phil, God, that song, it's amazing, I love it. What's it called? And he went, oh, no, it's a Richard Thompson song. I went, oh, I've never heard it before. So I looked it up when I got in, and I learnt it from a YouTube clip. But I didn't know for absolutely ages it was a live clip where really weirdly he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt, not like Richard Thompson, he's usually all in black. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. It's a very grainy video clip from years ago, and he sings slightly different lyrics, but I didn't know, and I learnt them. So my version has a different Elvis song. Sometimes people come up and say, it's not the wrong Elvis song. I thought, well, that's just the version I learned. So this is Galway to Graceland. And I think the reason I really like this song is because most of my songs were inspired by crushes on people. The more depressing the song, the bigger the crush. So when I heard this song, I remember thinking, wow, there's a really fine line between having a really big crush on someone and getting arrested. So, cautionary tale. So if you haven't heard this song before, it's all about a lady who has a big crush on Elvis and what happens to her, but I'm sure most of you probably have. And please feel free to join in as well. Well, she dressed in the dark and she whispered amen, and she was pretty in pink like a young girl again. 20 years married, and she never thought twice. She picked up her bags, walked into the night, and silver wings carried her over the sea, from the west coast of Ireland to West Tennessee, just to be with her sweetheart. Oh, she left everything, from Galway to Graceland, to be with the king. Well, she sang Love Me Tender, 'cause that's the song she liked best. And she had Elvis, I Love You tattooed on her breast. And when they landed in Memphis, so fast. She dreamed for so long, now she'd see him at last. And she knelt at his graveside day after day, and come closing time they would lead her away, just to be with her sweetheart. Oh, she left everything and go away to Graceland to be with the king. Thousands that came from the whole human race to pay their respects at his last resting place. Oh, but blindly she knelt there, and she told him her dreams, and she thought that he answered, 'cause that's how it seemed. Well, when they dragged her away, it was handcuffs this time. She said, "My dear man, are you out of your mind? Don't you know that we're married? See him wearing his ring. I've come from Galway to Graceland to be with the king. I've come from Galway to Graceland to be with the king." Hey, I'm going to dedicate that to Brian and Graham down here, who used to like to ask for that one. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm going to dedicate the next song to a lovely lady who's tuning in. And it's a lady who you all know because she played here recently, Emily Slade. And also, they're going to kill me, but her mum and dad are here tonight. There they are. And Emily's treated them to a weekend here, which is a very nice treat indeed. Apart from the fact that Maureen and Kieran down here run the Hitchin Folk Club and have done for many, many years. And a bit like this club, they have a guest every single week, which is absolutely amazing. And over 50 years, which is incredible. But the thing is, Maureen and Kieran were among the first big folk clubs to ever give me a go. They put me on supporting someone and they asked me back, which was lovely. It's always really lovely being booked, but it's really nice when you get asked back, I think. And then eventually Maureen would say, "Would you like to come and do a night with someone else?" And eventually I built up to my own gig, which is the ultimate for me. When sometimes doing interviews and things, you know, at festivals, people would always say, and so, you know, what do you want to, what's your goal? What do you want to end up doing? And I said, well, I really like gigging. It's my favourite thing. So gigging, but slightly bigger places. And, you know, from going from being the support to the main act, that's it. That's like the ultimate for me. It doesn't really get any better. And so when Emily told me she treated them to this visit, I said, but they've seen me a million times. It's not really a treat. So it's very, very lovely that you're here. And so this is a song. Also, I know a couple of you guys here tonight, particularly Sandra and Roger over there, were at Costa del Folk this year, and they were also there last year, and Emily and I both were on the bill last year, and it's actually Roger and Sandra that recommended the two of us to Morag and Chris. I really appreciate it, you guys. And this is a song that I heard on a telly programme last summer, and the telly programme was Nashville. And the only reason I watched it was because my cousin Tracy, I was playing the New Forest Folk Festival. Has anyone been to the New Forest? It's a really nice one. Oh, CJ, yes. And I was playing there. My cousin Tracy lives in Poole. She always comes along when I do the New Forest. I do it every couple of years. And she said, oh, Edwina, we're all mad on this Nashville TV show. It's a bit old now. But we all said, oh, Edwina must have watched it because, you know, she lived in Nashville years ago. And I said, you know, I never have seen it. And I've always meant to watch it, and I never did. It's about 10 years old. So I got home from the New Forest Folk Festival, and literally that night I was looking around on the telly, and I found it. It's on More 4, and there's 6 seasons of it, and each season has about 24 episodes. They're all an hour, good hour. I thought, oh, this is great. Anyway, I was hooked. 10 minutes in, hooked. And it's all about these songwriters and singers in Nashville. It's great. It's a really good drama. You don't even really have to like music to enjoy it. But of course, all the music's brilliant. And straight away, I heard this song. I thought, oh, I like that. And then a couple of more episodes went by. This song gets played again. I will just say there's a really dishy guy in it called Deacon Ladies. Tracy did warm me. Oh, he's lovely. He's so lovely. Very rugged and handsome. And says things like darling, which is always lovely. So anyway, he plays this song quite a few times during the show. And at the very end of all the seasons, they all sing it together. And around about that time, Emily found out she was poorly. She had to have a great big operation. And I had a bit of a daft idea that we should record this song together. I'd literally just worked it out with 3 chords and a capo, only having, listened to it a couple of times. Emily'd never heard it ever. And between us and Kieran and his lovely sound equipment, we managed to record it in 3 different counties, which was, my bit was in Yorkshire. And then I sent it to Emily, and I think she recorded her part in Cambridgeshire and Bedfordshire, would that be right? So we ended up with this recording. So this is the song. It's called A Life That's Good. Such a nice song. Does anybody know it? Oh, no. Oh, you do? 1 or 2? Oh, it's really nice. It's just one of those songs, I think, even if you don't know it, you can't help but like it because it's lovely. So I really hope. And all those of you at home, I'm sure there's some people out there going, yes, I know Nashville. So this is A Life That's Good. So I'm going to dedicate this to you, Emily, tuning in. And I hope you all like it. Yay. Wasn't going to talk too much, so. Sitting here tonight by the firelight, it reminds me I already have more than I should. And I don't need fame, no one to know my name. At the end of the day, Lord, I pray I have a life that's good. Two arms around me, heaven to ground me, and a family that always calls me home. 4 wheels to get there, enough love to share, and a sweet, sweet, sweet song at the end of the day. Lord, I pray I have a life that's good. Oh, some nice singing going on down there. And sometimes I'm hard on me when dreams don't come easy. I wanna look back and say I did all that I could. And at the end of the day, I have a life that's good. Two arms around me, heaven to ground me, and a family that always calls me home. 4 wheels to get there, and enough love to share, and a sweet, sweet, sweet song at the end of the day. Lord, I pray I have a life that's good. At the end of the day, Lord, I pray I have a life that's good. Hey, Emily, that one's for you. Oh, I think it's raffle time. Oh my God, so just a sec, everybody. I've just gone up to 2.5 from 2s. Here we go. It's amazing, I can see everything a lot clearer. Oh my God. Caroline Godfrey, you've won. Caroline Godfrey. Oh, she's here. There she is.
Oh, excellent. First time here, won the raffle.
Yay. And the second prize is for Emily Slade. You won the toilet roll.
No, she's won CJ's CD.
Oh, CJ's CD. Ah.
She'll want the toilet roll. Yeah.
Well, she would, because apparently CJ won the toilet roll last time and Emily signed it.
Yeah.
So it's all linked.
This one's for CJ's.
What a great name, Candy Gregory. I love that.
Candy, excellent.
Candy,
Hey,
yay.
fantastic.
Sounds like a film star, doesn't it? Candy Gregory. I love that.
One more song, please.
Yes. I'll keep it short, both in chat and in song for this last one, because I can see time's running out. So this is going to be the last one for everybody at home. If you have tuned in, thank you so much. If you're a friend or family member, thanks even more, because that's just so lovely. So wherever you are, I hope you have a great weekend, and thank you very much for tuning in. I just need to take that off. And for everybody here and everybody at home, this last number is a comedy one, because you've been very nice sitting through my melancholy first half. And don't be lulled into a false sense of security, though. It's the only funny one I know. And I'll be doing more misery in the second half. So along with requests, it's quite nice when I do requests for things like Leonard Cohen in the second half, because I can say, oh, well, it was Richard asked for it, you know. So it's quite good. But this is a comedy song. This is a song I learned to sing at a comedy evening a few years ago. And it was the Nid Valley, with 2 Ds, which always makes me think of Monty Python. The Nid Valley Acoustic Club in Knaresborough, which is up near Harrogate. And they had a comedy night, special, like a singer's, invited guest sort of singer's night. And everybody had to do one song, unless you travelled a long way when you got 2. But I was only an hour and 20 minutes, so I only had 1. And I didn't know what to do, because it was a comedy theme. And at that time in my car, I had a live album by a friend of mine, a singer-songwriter called Casey Jones, K-A-C-E-Y. And Casey's a comedy songwriter. And at the time I had her album, Every Man I Meet is either married, gay or dead, live at the Bluebird Cafe, 2004, in the car. And my favourite song on that album is a song called Waiting for the Guy to Die. And I knew all the words, because I'd been singing along with it for like 10 years in the car. But I didn't know how to play it, so I figured out a little way of playing it. There was a B involved, which isn't my favourite chord. But it was either play B once or put a capo right up here. I thought, come on, Edwina, grow up. You're nearly 50. Play the B, you know. So anyway, it only comes once. Anyway, I learnt this for the comedy night. And then I've just been singing it ever since, complete fluke. And the nice thing about it is that I used to always go up to Casey at gigs and say, Casey, please, will you do that one about the guy who won't die for me? It's called Waiting for the Guy to Die. And now people come up to me and say, will you do that one about the guy? And it's really funny. So it's all about a young lady who marries a rich old fella for his money, thinking that he'll die, and he won't die. That's what it's about. And so I picture a sort of Playboy bunny type, Anna Nicole Smith, Dolly Bird, and some poor old Hugh Hefner guy, perhaps in a silky dressing gown, perhaps in a wheelchair, with not much hair on his head, pulling along some kind of oxygen thing. I'm setting the scene for you. We'll finish off with this. I'll stop talking now. All right then. I married a man who's 95 and wealthy. Now I'm waiting for the guy to die. The doctors assured me he's not very healthy. I'm waiting for the guy to die. And oh, what a thrill when they read his will, and everything he has will be mine. What's meant for his kiddos will go to his widow. I'm waiting for the guy to die. Good singing. When he gets the shingles, it makes my heart tingle. I'm waiting for the guy to die. And in a matter of months, I'll be filthy rich and single. I'm waiting for the guy to die. With money to burn and sugar daddy in the urn, just think of all the crap I could buy. A tisket, a tasket, hey, throw him in the casket, 'cause I'm waiting for the guy to die. this was gonna be easy money, but he keeps going like the Energizer Bunny. Despite all my wishing, he's gone into remission. I'm still waiting for the guy to die. Was it only a rumor that he had a tumor? I'm waiting for the guy to die. Gets worse. Well, it's no joke. This dude won't croak. Now he's giving Viagra a try. Well, he wants to thrill me. Please, somebody kill me. I'm waiting for the guy to die. Oh, take this old geezer and throw him in the freezer, 'cause I'm waiting for the guy to die. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, everybody tuning in at home. Thank you.
Edwina Hayes!
Thank you.
Fabulous, thank you. That is a wonderful song. That is a wonderful song. Can we please thank Mike Stockwell and CJ and Andrew, Roger, John, Chris, Lizzie and Gala Shields, who's been posting away like mad on social thingy, on the interweb, and in her pinny at the bar, Una! Hooray! Yeah. We're going to have a bit of a break now. But next week we have Naomi Bedford and Paul Simmons. Woo! Very good, yes. And ticket sales are going really well for that. So if you want a ticket, Candy, she didn't get one this week, but she's got one next week, so that's good. And she won the raffle, which is fair enough, yeah. The following week we've got Alden and Patterson, who are just gorgeous. They came here, how long ago was it? Was it in lockdown? And they were just wonderful, gorgeous, gorgeous songs, really lovely. And then the following week's Nunhead Folk Circle, who are very brave. They hand out percussion instruments to the audience, which I know, I said, what happens if it all goes wrong? They said, we just play louder. So that's really good. That's great. So for the people at home, let's just hear one more round of applause for Edwina Hayes. Next week we have Naomi Bedford and Paul Simmons. My name's Maura Butler. This is Rosalind Court. Keep watching us, please, and don't forget to donate if you possibly can. Thank you very much. Bye.